Hey you all, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my DTF printer and giving you all the tips and advice on purchasing this printer if you're in the market to upgrade your business. So if you would like to learn more about my DTF printer, just keep on watching. So the printer that I have is the L1800 Epson printer, and I purchased it from Alibaba. The seller that I decided to go through was PROCOLORED, and roughly after tax with the film and ink and shipping and all the fees, I paid a total of $2,950. Now, on the scale of things, that's not very expensive in comparison to the other options out there, but it is expensive for a printer if you think about it. And my order process, it was a very smooth process. I reached out to the seller and expressed my interest and asked questions that I had about the printer, and then the seller created an order form for me to order. And after going through that process, it took roughly 10 days for me to receive the printer and about 20 days to receive my ink. Now the ink in the printer did ship separately, and I will let you all know that if you do decide to order this printer and also order ink through the seller, then it will ship separately, and it's a possibility that it could be held up with customs, which happened to me with my order. But I did end up getting it and was able to set up my printer with no issues. Now, the first tip before you decide to purchase this printer is to do your research and thoroughly research and research sellers, research reviews, and people who have this printer and have had it for a while, and get your advice from their experiences. And I will stress that because based on my research, I didn't research as thoroughly prior to getting it, but after I got the printer, I did start doing a little bit more research, and I noticed that several people have stated similar things and have complained about the same things. So you do want to take that into consideration. Not that you will allow that to deter you or to make your decision, but to give you a more informed knowledge when making your decision. Allow you to make a more informed decision. Now, from my experience with this printer, it does print on the slower side. So if you're looking for something that is going to help you scale your business and to fulfill a higher order volume, I don't know if this will necessarily meet your needs, simply because it does not print at a fast pace. If you have a large volume of orders, then this printer can definitely slow you down. So do keep that in mind. And I wish that I would have known that prior to buying this printer. So that would definitely be a con of mine, is that the print quality and speed is slow if it is a higher quality print. So keep that in mind. As well, also the size too. If it's a larger print, then it does take longer. The second thing that you really want to take into consideration is the maintenance on this printer. It does require daily maintenance and daily prints. So if you're someone who is constantly on the go, or if you have other equipment that you use, then you do want to keep that in mind, that you have to print daily on this printer. Otherwise, it will cause issues with the printer, with the print heads clogging, and it will not be fun. So keep that in mind before you buy this printer, that you do have to have daily maintenance for it. The third thing that you want to keep in mind is when I purchased this printer from PROCOLORED through Alibaba, it did not include any operation instructions on it as far as how do you operate the printer. It did include instructions on the setup process. So once you get past the setup, there are no daily instructions on how to properly print. It's basically me, through trial and error, has learned how to operate the printer. But the caveat to that is they do have an engineer team that they will set you up with through Skype that can give you instructions and answer any questions that you may have when it comes to operating this printer. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that after you make the purchase, set up the printer, and print, you cannot return the printer. So if you decide that you no longer want it, or if it doesn't work for you, you can't return the printer. And that's one of the things that I faced when I first got the printer. I was having issues with the roll feeder constantly feeding film through the printer and it wasn't operating properly, and once I tried to return it, I realized that they will not accept the return, so you basically are stuck with a printer if it doesn't work for you. So do keep that in mind. And lastly, my overall opinion of this printer. Now, don't get me wrong, when the printer does work, it does print good images, but for me and what I was hoping for, I don't think that it was a great buy, because as far as printing and fulfilling higher volume of orders, I just don't think that this printer has the capacity to do so. So I definitely would not purchase this printer again. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would not. I would go with another equipment, maybe on the more expensive side, but something that will definitely work for me and my business. And lastly, would I recommend this printer? Honestly, it depends on what it is that you're hoping for, your goals for your business. If you're not wanting to fulfill a large volume of orders, then I think this is a great buy for you. But do keep in mind that you have to consider all the other things as far as maintenance and the printer itself. So before buying this printer, definitely consider what your goals are for your business. If you're wanting to really scale it, then I would suggest you look at other alternatives and other equipment that could potentially fulfill that in a better way other than this printer. But that is my overall opinion about the L1800 and my buying experience. I hope you found this video helpful, and do keep in mind that in the next video I will share with you the print process on this printer, so just stay tuned for that. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.